So here's how I've fixed up my Auto Laser Master, primarily to etch the bottom of bowls with my branding. I've put the Laser Master, mounted the Laser Master quite high up on a framework made out of MDF, old kitchen worktop. And whatever it is I want to etch, I mount on this laboratory rising table so that I can get the piece that I want to etch to the right height. Getting the right height is quite a simple matter. I just put a piece of card on top of the table across to the base of the Laser Master and lift it up until that's level. I now know that the bottom of the bowl that I want to etch is exactly the right level for the focus of the laser. The cool thing about this setup is you can do anything from a small box to a huge platter. To do a platter, take the bowl off, and put a platform on. This is just a piece of gash MDF. And now the cool bit, because I've mounted this on the whole mechanism on an old electric reclining chair, I can send the whole mechanism back to make room for a large bowl. So I will now mount a big platter. And as you can see, I can get a big platter the center of a big platter to a point where I can etch it with the laser. So that gives me plenty of room to etch whatever I like on the bottom of the bowl. Because I spend my life in lockdown thinking of other more mad schemes, I thought to myself, well, what if I want to etch something really tall? How can I do that? So what I did was took the other half of the reclining sofa mechanism and mounted it vertically with a platform on the top to which I can attach a variety of things, and that will move up and down once I connect it up. I'll show you it in place in a minute. So here it is in place, ready for anything that I put on the top. The power is connected into a power outlet on the front of the other structure, and I've put a speed control in here so that I can control it more finely, and I can move it up and down so I can do virtually anything of any height. So had I got a tall item in here, I would put that at that sort of level and then bring the laser as far forward as I can. The laser is directly over the platform, and I can use the up and down control to focus the laser pretty accurately. That's the limit of the height. So there's about 6 inches below the normal focal point of the laser, so I can do anything from 6 inches upwards. I've also configured this so that I can put my bowl etching apparatus on the top. I've now modified my bowl etching apparatus so that I can rotate it, so I can do the flat surface of a bowl easily, or I can do the side by rotating the whole chuck mechanism. I'll just show you a bowl mounted. So here's a bowl mounted. I can now lift it up to get it to the right level. And using my stepper motor control, I can etch patterns around the outside of the bowl. I've mounted a camera over the working area of the laser so that I can, in Lightburn, use the camera function, which allows me to take a picture of the bowl and use that as a background to whatever it is I plan to etch on top. I do have some problems with accuracy, but it gives a pretty good idea of, for instance, if I was putting lettering on a bowl, what the curve of the lettering should be to match the curve of the bowl.
Here you can see how the focus of the laser alters as I move the bowl up and down. Makes it very easy to ensure that the laser's focused properly.
And here's the setup for mounting, for etching on the side of a bowl. I'll need to bring the etcher forward a bit and the bowl up a bit. Now that's on the limit of the height of the raising mechanism, so as it's a small bowl I will need to refocus the laser, which is a fairly simple process. Just bring the laser forward and focus using the there we go. And I can etch patterns moving the bowl through ever many degrees I want to.
So here I am using Lightburn. This is the basic wort area, and I'm just pasting a picture of a cultic knot. Now Lightburn has a very useful tool that allows you to trace the outline of that picture. It's called Trace Image. Here it is. And we now have the lines of that picture traced that I can etch. Now that is too big, so we select it and shrink it. Put about that size. And in order to see where we're going to place it on the bowl, we can use the camera, update the overlay, and we have a picture of the top of the laser etcher. So I need to move that out of the way. And then update the overlay again. And there we have the bowl and where this might go. So I'm going to select it, move it, rotate it slightly, and I now move the laser to the dead center of the knot, and using the fire button turn the laser on and check that that's the dead center of the surface of the bowl. It isn't, and that's due to a slight error in the picture. The bowl may be a little bit too high or a little bit too low, so I just need to move this that way a bit and check the center again, and that's now pretty well perfectly where I want it to be in relation to the actual bowl rather than the picture. If I go to laser, cut and frame, I'll check that it's not quite in the right place there. It needs to move a little bit that way. Try again. And that's perfect. That is now set up to etch on the bowl exactly where I want it. Next thing to do is to check the cuts. It's currently set to a speed of 6,000, which is far too high. That needs to be about 2,000. And maximum power about 80%. Now that should produce on you a decent result. And what I will do is etch it on a test piece to have a look. Just show you what the test piece looks like. I'll update the overlay. Move the laser out of the way. Update the overlay. And you'll see I've just put a piece of card there, and that's where the laser. So I'll just etch that. I'll get the camera out and watch the machine in action.
I've also fitted the laser with air assist so that it will blow a jet of cooling air as it works. This helps to prevent overburn on anything that you are
And here's a picture of the first successfully etched pattern
moving it through
the
20
correct
degrees.
place.
Check the position of where the laser is going to go. That looks fine, and we will now etch it. That looks good.